when I gave my sister a $100 star and we laughed all night. In 2022, I decided to give my sister something unusual and ordered a certificate for the name of the star for $100. She unwrapped the gift and at first didn't understand what it was, and then we laughed, imagining what her star could look like. Now, every time she sees the starry sky, she says that it was the most unusual and funniest gift. $1,000 for a gift for neighbors who hate us. In 2022, we decided to please our neighbors, with whom we have not the best relations, because we had a lot of parties until the morning when we first moved in. We ordered them a large box of expensive wine, chocolate, and cheese for $1,000. They accepted the gift, but did not even say thank you. A couple of weeks later, they started complaining about our noise again. We realized that some people do not change even if you show generosity, or maybe we should stop making noise until the morning. When my grandpa gave me $20 and my sweetest memory. In 2018, my then 93-year-old grandfather gave me $20 for Christmas and said, "Buy yourself something that makes you smile." I didn't spend the money. I kept it in my wallet as a reminder of his words. He's gone now, but it remains my sweetest gift. When a cat ate a $200 gift. Last Christmas, I bought my cat an expensive $200 cat house with a scratching post and toys. She looked at it, ignored it, and continued playing with the cardboard box the delivery came in. Now I think that gifts for animals are primarily about joy for their owners. $1,200 for a photo shoot that brought us back to family. For Christmas 2021, I decided to organize a professional photo shoot for our family. It cost $1,200, including the photographer, studio rental, and clothes. We hadn't been able to find time to hang out for a long time, but this day brought us closer. Now we have a huge family photo hanging in the living room, and it reminds us how important it is to be together. $5,000 for a gift to myself that turned out to be a mistake. In 2021, I decided to treat myself and bought a huge 85-inch TV for $5,000. It took up half the wall, but after a month I realized I barely watched it. Now it just hangs there and reminds me that I could have spent that money on something useful. When a $1,200 gift turned into a scandal, I gave my wife a $1,200 designer dress, thinking she'd be thrilled. Instead, she said I should have asked first because it's not her style. We ended up spending Christmas evening picking out another dress, when a $3,000 gift saved a life. Last year, I gave my dad a $3,000 heart monitor. He resisted for a long time, saying it was unnecessary, but after a few months, he noticed changes in his readings and went to the doctor. He was diagnosed with early-stage heart disease and is now on treatment. It was the most valuable gift I have ever given. $800 on a machine that doubled as a clothes rack. In 2021, I gave my wife an $800 elliptical machine, thinking it would be a useful gift. She thanked me, but within a few weeks it had become just a place to dry her clothes. We now joke that it was the most expensive clothes rack in our house. When giving to your neighbors became a street event. Last year, I decided to give decorated boxes of homemade cookies to my neighbors on my street. It only cost $150, but people were so touched that they threw a little street party. Our entire block ended up getting together and swapping stories, and the gifts became a new way to bond. $500 for a pillow that changed everything. I gave my grandfather a special orthopedic pillow for $500. He had been complaining about poor sleep for a long time, so I decided to give it a try. Now he says he finally gets enough sleep and feels younger. Sometimes, even the little things can change someone's life. When $1,000 went to charity instead of gifts. In 2022, I decided that instead of giving my mother an expensive gift, I would donate $1,000 to the animal rescue organization she supports. I showed her the receipt and she burst into tears, saying that it was the best gift she could have received. How $800 turned into a love story. Last year, I gave my friend an $800 cooking class certificate for Christmas. That's where she met the guy who is now her husband. She says it wasn't just a gift, it was the key to her happiness. When we had a $2,000 rooftop Christmas. In 2021, my friends and I rented a rooftop downtown for $2,000, decorated it with lights, and ordered party food. It was the most unusual Christmas. We sat around a fire, sang songs, and looked out over the city at night. Everyone still says it was the best Christmas ever. The $1,500 gift that gave my life purpose. For Christmas 2022, I gave my grandmother a $1,500 watercolor painting class. She had never painted before, but now her paintings are selling at local shows, and she says she has found a new purpose in life. When $3,000 gave my nephew his childhood. Last year, I paid for my nephew to go to Disneyland for $3,000. He grew up without parents, and I wanted to give him a happy childhood. His smile on the rides was priceless, and he still tells his friends about the trip. How $50 became the perfect gift. I once gave my mother a simple glass ball with a miniature Christmas tree inside. It only cost $50, but she put it on her mantelpiece, and now it has become a symbol of our Christmas. Sometimes simplicity speaks louder than luxury. When $4,000 became the most valuable photograph. For Christmas 2021, I hired a photographer and paid for a trip to Lake Tahoe to take a family portrait. It cost $4,000, but the portrait now hangs in my parents' house. Every time I look at it, I remember that day when we were all together. The $0 Christmas that was priceless. In 2020, I decided that instead of buying gifts, I would write each family member a letter telling them how much they meant to me. These letters were more emotional than any expensive gift and are still in my parents' box. $1,000 for a restaurant outing that brought us closer. Last year, I treated my family to dinner at the most luxurious restaurant in town. It cost $1,000, but we talked and laughed so much that night that it was the best Christmas ever. The money is gone, but the memories will last forever. When $800 on a skateboard changed a life. I gave my little brother a professional skateboard for $800. He took to skating and within a year was competing in local competitions. Now he dreams of making it to the national championship. $2,500 for an old piano that brought a family together. I bought a grand piano from a neighbor for $2,500 and gave it to my family for Christmas. Now, every night we gather around the piano, someone plays, someone sings, and it has become a tradition that brings us together. When a $30 cat gift was perfect. Last Christmas, I bought my cat an automatic water fountain for $30. She loves it and now drinks from it exclusively. It was a simple but incredibly useful gift. $10,000 for a watch for my brother that he lost. In 2021, I decided to buy my brother an expensive gift, a $10,000 Rolex watch. A couple of months later, he forgot it in the gym locker room and it was stolen. It was a painful lesson that not all expensive gifts are appreciated as much as you expect. When a gift to the neighbors almost caused a fire. I gave my neighbors down the street a huge handmade candle for $80. A few days later, they reported that the candle had leaked and was melting their wooden table. Luckily, they managed to put it out, but it was a bad gift that they will definitely remember. $2,000 for a gift for my wife that turned out to be a disappointment. I bought my wife a Tiffany bracelet for $2,000, thinking it would be the perfect gift. She thanked me, but then admitted that she prefers earrings and bracelets are uncomfortable for her. Now I always consult with her before spending that kind of money. When a $50 gift from my sister brought us closer. Last Christmas, I gave my sister a book of our childhood photos that I made myself. It only cost $50, but we spent the entire evening reminiscing about our childhoods. She said it was the best gift I've ever given. $1,000 on an automatic cat feeder that she won't eat. I bought my cat an expensive feeder that dispenses food on a schedule. It turns out she's scared of the noise and won't go near it at all. Now it sits in the kitchen as a reminder that not all technology is good for animals. When a $500 gift for your neighbors made us friends. Last Christmas, I ordered a tree for my neighbors to put in their yard, complete with decorations and garlands. It cost $500, but now we communicate much more and have even started having dinner together. $300 on a skateboard for myself that became a pain. I bought myself a cool skateboard for $300 thinking it would be fun. The next day I fell, broke my arm, and spent more on the hospital than on the skateboard itself. How a $20 gift from my son started his hobby. I bought my son a $20 model airplane kit. He was so into it that he spent his entire vacation building them. Now it's a hobby, and he even takes part in exhibitions. $700 for a robot vacuum cleaner that my cat is afraid of. I decided to buy a robot vacuum cleaner for my house for $700. My cat was so scared that she didn't come out from under the couch for 3 days. Now the vacuum cleaner only works at night when the cat is sleeping. When a $5 gift made a neighbor's day. I bought a box of $5 Christmas cards and signed them for each neighbor. People were so touched that they started bringing gifts of their own in return. It was the best way to strengthen relationships. The $200 scarf no one wore. In 2021, I decided to buy my mom a luxurious $200 cashmere scarf. She thanked me, but I've only seen it once since, at the bottom of a box in my closet. The following year, I gave her a Netflix subscription, and she loved it. Now I try to only give things that are truly needed. $50 for Secret Santa and the gift I got. We were doing Secret Santa at work, and I bought my coworker a nice mug and tea set for $50. In return, I got socks with dogs on them. I try to look grateful, but now I always put my money on the gift I want, not what seems cute. When a gift for a husband cost $1,000. In 2022, I gave my husband the PS5 he'd been dreaming about for a year. He was jumping for joy, but to my surprise, he bought me a gold pendant for the same amount the next day. We both went over budget, but it was one of the most memorable Christmases ever. A $20 DIY gift that melted my heart. Last year, I made a photo collage of our pictures for my girlfriend and only paid $20 for the printing. She said it was the best gift she had ever received. Now I try to make something with my own hands every year instead of buying expensive things. A $250 kid's dream. In 2021, my 9-year-old son asked for a Nintendo Switch. I saved up for months, cutting back on coffee and dining out. When he opened the box, he almost cried tears of joy. His smile was priceless, and it made Christmas special for the whole family. $5 for a gift that became a legend. In 2022, I was having a tough financial year and bought a friend his favorite chocolate bar, which cost $5. I included a note remembering us eating it in college. He said it was the most heartfelt gift he had ever received. When Christmas cost $3,000. In 2020, we decided to throw a lavish holiday for the whole family. Gifts, decorations, food. Altogether, it came to over $3,000. After the holidays, I realized that it was a huge overspend, and many things were redundant. Since then, we have limited ourselves to a budget of $500, and we are still happy. $40 toaster and the best reaction. In 2022, my brother moved into his first apartment and had almost no appliances. I bought him a simple toaster for $40. When he opened it, he started jumping for joy like a child. It turned out that he had wanted such a gift for a long time, but was embarrassed to say so. $800 for the ring that changed my life. On Christmas Day, 2021, I proposed to my girlfriend with an $800 ring. It cost half my savings, but her saying yes made it the best moment of my life. We got married the following year. The $350 Lego set that became a family hit. Last year, I gave my nephew a huge Lego set. The whole family ended up sitting around the table building it all day. It was one of the most fun Christmases we've ever had, and the toy has become a shared hobby for us. When a gift for the boss cost more than my budget. In 2022, I bought my boss an expensive bottle of wine for $150, thinking it would impress him. At the party, he didn't even notice who gave the wine. Next year, I'll stick with a simpler gift like a notebook or a pen. The most unexpected gift for $0. One Christmas, a friend gave me a box of our school records, old photos, and cards. It cost nothing, but I cried at the memory. Since then, I give such things to people I care about. A $20 Christmas with a heart. In 2020, when money was tight, I bought each of my family a small $5 Christmas tree ornament. We decorated the tree together, and it became a tradition. Now every year we buy only such small but meaningful gifts. When the gift was more expensive than the tree itself. Last year, I bought my girlfriend a designer bag for $700. We had a small artificial tree for $20, but it didn't matter. She was so happy that she wore that bag every day. The $300 gift that was useless. In 2021, I bought my dad a set of expensive tools for $300, thinking he would use them. He said thanks, but a year later I found the set in a box in the garage. Now I only give him things he asks for. A $10 simple Christmas. In 2022, I gave my grandma a beautiful $10 tea mug. She said she thinks of me every morning when she drinks her tea from it. Sometimes the simple things bring more joy than the expensive ones. The best gift is $250 emotions. For Christmas, I bought 2 tickets to see my wife's favorite band. They cost $250, but her reaction when she found out about it was priceless. We had an unforgettable evening, and it was worth every penny. How my girlfriend gave me a bitter lesson for $300. Last Christmas, my girlfriend gave me a $300 photography course that I had been dreaming about, but I never signed up for it and kept putting it off. She still reminds me that the best gift is not a thing, but an opportunity that should be taken advantage of. $500 on an electric guitar for a friend who never played. My best friend always said he wanted to learn to play guitar. For Christmas 2021, I bought him an electric guitar for $500. He thanked me, but never took the lesson. The guitar now sits in his bedroom collecting dust. When Grandma made me a gift that was worth more than any money. For Christmas 2020, my grandma gave me a scarf she knitted herself. It wasn't perfect. The thread sometimes twisted and the colors didn't quite match. But I wear it every winter because it was made with love and not store-bought. $3,000 for a painting that no one liked. I decided to make an original gift for my parents and commissioned an artist to paint a family portrait for $3,000. When it was delivered, my mother said, "Who is this?" The artist changed our faces so much that the painting now hangs in the hallway, where no one sees it. When my friend gave me a $0 hike. In 2022, my friend organized a mountain hike as a Christmas gift. We spent the whole day enjoying nature, and it was the best thing I've ever received. No money, no material things, just time and emotions. $700 for a project that made me happier. I always wanted to do ceramics, but I never got around to it. Last year, I bought myself a clay pottery kit and some lessons for $700. Now I create my own pots and vases that I sell at fairs. It was a gift to myself that changed my life. When my brother gave me a $100 memory, my little brother gave me a photo album of us as kids last Christmas. He said, "I wanted you to remember how cool you were." The album didn't cost him more than $100, but it's priceless to me. How I bought an expensive thing I hate. Last year, I bought myself a $600 smartwatch, hoping it would help me be more productive. After 2 weeks, I realized its notifications were more annoying than motivating. Since then, it's been sitting in the box, and I've been using my old $50 watch. When my mom gave me a $10 savings lesson. In 2019, my mom gave me a book on budgeting. It cost $10, but it taught me how to manage my finances so well that I was able to save $5,000 in a year. It was the most helpful gift I've ever received. When I gave a coworker a $5 coffee, and he thanked me. In 2020, I bought my coworker a nice mug of coffee for Christmas. He said no one had ever done such a thing for him before. Now he's a close friend, which makes me believe that even small gifts can be important. $1,000 in rent for a friend who then disappeared. In 2021, I helped a friend by paying his rent for a month as a Christmas gift. He thanked me, but after a few weeks, he stopped contacting me. I don't regret helping, but I've learned that generosity sometimes goes unappreciated. When a $20 gift saved my evening, I gave my friend a $20 board game. We had a group get-together for Christmas, and the game saved what was otherwise a boring evening. Sometimes it's the little things that make the holidays special. How I gave my girlfriend a $500 bike that she sold. Last year, I bought my girlfriend a beautiful city bike for $500. A couple of months later, she admitted that she sold it to buy herself a new phone. We laughed about it, but I've been choosing gifts with her advice ever since. Well, my neighbor gave me a pie that I still remember. Last Christmas, my neighbor baked me a pumpkin pie. He said it was a family recipe. It was the best pie I've ever had in my life. And now, every year I ask him to make me another one. When I bought a $400 skateboard and realized I was getting old. In 2022, I decided to fulfill my childhood dream and bought a $400 skateboard. On the first day, I fell and seriously bruised my knee. Now that skateboard sits in the corner. And I remember how important dreams are, but reality is no less important.